Okay, this one here, you're actually creating a set of simultaneous equations. And the tricky bit is actually forming those simultaneous equations. Now, the first thing you do need to note is that you're looking there for natural numbers. Okay, now natural numbers are whole numbers above zero. So you can't have a fraction and you can't have a negative number. So when you get to the end of solving this problem, if you've got a fraction or a negative number, that's not one of the numbers they want. So they're looking for a whole number. But anyway, what we'll do is, first of all, the first step is to figure out the two equations. So we've got one natural number and another natural number. So let's say that one of those natural numbers is x and the other one is y. So those are our two natural numbers. So let's just keep that in mind. So therefore, if we say one natural number, y, is equal to 5 more, so that's something plus 5, okay, so 5 more than 3 times another natural number, so 3x. So y equals 3x plus 5. That's our first equation. Okay, so y is equal to 5 more than 3 times another natural number. The product of these two natural numbers is 182, and product means multiply. So our other equation is x times y, okay, so the product of those two natural numbers is equal to 182. And on the next screen, I'm going to go through the process of how we solve these two simultaneous equations. Okay, so we have these two equations, y equals 3x plus 5 and xy equals 182. And what I'm going to do is, see this here, that's what y equals. I'm going to substitute that for y in that equation. So I'm going to change y in this equation. So I'm going to change this y for that. Okay, so we end up with x times, so I'll open a bracket, 3x plus 5 equals 182. So I've substituted the y, which we know equals 3x plus 5, into that equation. Now we expand that out. So 3x squared plus 5x, so now I've expanded that bracket. I'm going to bring the 182 over. Okay, minus 182 equals 0. Now 3 and 5 and 182 are not common factors, so we can't divide through by a number to make this simpler. So you would have been shown a particular method by Mr. Harris. Not sure how you would have done it, but the way I teach this one, and you can choose to ignore this, you might have your own way, is that I multiply 3 by 182 and I get 546. Okay, and then I look for the factors of 546 that, when if I add or subtract them together, get me positive 5. And when I go through the factor pairs of 546, the two that come to mind are 21 and 26, because there's 5 difference there. So I write this out. I go 3x squared minus 21x plus 26x, because both of those add to 5x, minus 182 equals 0. And then I factorise each of those brackets, those sets. So then I'm going to factorise 3x squared minus 21x, and so I factorise that gives me 3x, x minus 7, and then I factorise 26 and 182, and so I go plus 26, 26 is going to 182 7 times, x minus 7 equals 0. Now what you're actually trying to do with this step is to make sure that the two brackets are the same. If they're not the same, you can't carry on, okay? I'm going to carry this on the next page because we're running out of room. So on the previous page we got to this stage here. What you do at this point here is you combine the bits outside the bracket. So we end up with 3x plus 26 in one bracket. And then we combine these two here. Because they're both the same, we can eliminate one of them. X minus 7, and that equals 0. Now we solve each bracket. So we know that this second bracket here, x minus 7, that ends us up with x equals 7. That is a natural number. Let's check the other one though. 3x plus 26 equals 0. If we solve that, we end up that x is equal to negative 26 over 3. That is not a natural number, because it's not only a fraction, because 26 divided by 3 doesn't go into a whole number, but it's also negative. So therefore our value is x equals 7. Now you remember right back at the very start we came up with the equation y is equal to 3x plus 5. So if we know that x equals 7, that's one of our natural numbers, we now substitute that back into that equation and we get y equals 3 times 7 plus 5. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 5 is 26. So our two numbers are 26 and 7. And that's how you work through that one.